In this video, we will walk through a process to design a slide similar to this one with the use of shapes and images. The first step we're going to do is take a screenshot here of this slide that we came across that we liked and that we want to replicate. So I've inserted that screenshot here in my first slide, and I'll just create a new blank slide. That'll be our working canvas here. And the first step is to work with the shapes and arrange them in the order that will look just like this particular slide. To do that, we're just going to go Insert Shapes, and we'll choose the hexagon shape right here. And I'm going to get rid of the outlines. We won't need those. And now to get the shape to be the same that we're looking for, I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees. And we'll work by adjusting the size of the hexagon to meet the size that we need. So side to side, and now we'll adjust the edges by dragging up a little bit, and now we have the hexagon shape that we're looking for. Next step is to duplicate it. I'll just Control D to do that. We'll move this one down to where we're wanting. I'm going to use my cursor to get it exactly where I want it to be. That looks pretty good. Now we'll duplicate that one. That automatically goes down there to the third row. I'll duplicate this one again. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to worry about getting it lined up perfectly vertically, but horizontally here with this shape is what I'm looking for. And now I'll duplicate. And the shortcut that we can have to get these all aligned is go to our Align tool. So we'll hit the Align drop down, and we'll just go Align top. Perfect. Next up, we'll do the same process with this row. So let's duplicate that one. Again, I'm just looking to line it up horizontally. That looks pretty good. Duplicate there and duplicate there. This one looks a little bit off. Same with this one. There we go. We'll select them all, align, and align to the top. Last one that we need, we'll put this one right here. And that looks pretty good. A little bit more with the keyboard. And now we have our hexagons the way that we need them for the design. So I'm just going to select all the hexagons, and we'll Control C and Control V. So we have them on our slide now. And the next step is to get them in a format that PowerPoint will let us put an image inside of them. And to do that, we're going to go Shape Format, Merge Shapes, and Combine. So now we have one shape here that an image will be able to be placed right inside of. Everything looks good. So now let's get to an image. We'll go Insert a Picture and go with the stock images. PowerPoint provides a lot of great images that we can use. So for this one, I'm going to do something more along the line of office workers. Up in Modern Office, we got a lot of selections here, and really looking for a way to where we'll have a good, pleasant scene. This one looks good. We'll insert the image. So now we have a very large image, and I'm just going to move it over here and then send it to the back. And the next step that we do is we have the image already selected. We're going to hit the Shift key and select our shapes. We're going to go Shape Format, Merge Shapes, and Intersect. And now the image is placed directly inside of those hexagons. That's exactly the look that we're looking for. Now we'll select our picture format and crop our image. This will allow us to move the image where we want it to appear in our shapes. Also, I'm going to make the image a little bit smaller, and that's going to allow us to get more people into the hexagons. So I'm going to keep making it smaller. Here we go. So now we have the shirt of the man into our picture as well. And let's keep going a little bit more. See if I do a little too much. So we'll have to make it a little bit bigger again so it covers our full shape. And now we got the man and the shoulder of the woman as well in the red here. That looks good. Let's crop it. We've got our image done. So first step of the process, we've got our shapes built and our image inside of the shapes. Next step of the process are going to be all these other hexagons with the colors. So what we'll do is we'll clean up this slide and delete all these And now we're going to start building these supplemental hexagons. So we'll start with the big one over here and make sure that we have our shape the way that we want it. Yep, looks good. Perfect. And I'm going to copy that hexagon. I'm going to place it over here outside of the slide, make it a little bit smaller. This is only going to be used to get our color that we're looking for. So I'm going to right-click on the shape and go Format Shape. With the fill for the color, I'm going to select our eyedropper. And I'm going to choose the bright blue first, right here. Let's try that one again. There we go. So now we have the blue color. Now I'm going to move this one a little bit, and I'm going to duplicate this one over here, and I'm going to get the green color for the fill. Perfect. So now we have our colors that we're going to need. So back we go. We're going to start with just the greens. All right. Now we'll adjust the size over to this one. Perfect. Duplicate that one, bring that over here. That's pretty good. All right, next. A few more greens. Adjust the size. Move it down a little bit. Nice. This one's considerably smaller. On the sides and on the side. There we go. And then our last one. All right, so we have all our hexagons that we need for our green colors. Select them all and copy them and go over to our slide with our image and place them in there. So the next step that we're going to do is go back to our colors. We're going to zoom out a little bit and select our green over here. Need it. Perfect. We're going to select all of these. Go to our fill and select our green. And we have the green color in the slide. And then the other aspect of this is we notice that the transparency varies based on the hexagons. So it looks like we have 4 that have some transparency to them, 1 that doesn't, and 1 that has a lot. So we're going to leave this one as is. These 4 look to have about the same shade of transparency. So we're just going to eyeball it, go about 10%. There we go. And then this one has a lot. So let's do this one at about 70. That looks about right. So now we have our green hexagons. I'll stop the video here and pick it back up after I have the blue hexagons into the picture. So now we have our blue and our green hexagons into the picture. So if we take a look at the original picture and ours that we've created, very similar, gives us a nice professional look. Last part of our design is going to be creating the text that's similar, both in shape and in color, to the text that's on the slide. So for here, all we need to do is insert a text box over here. And I'm just going to type in the same text that was in the slides. I'm going to make this a little bit larger so now we can see this as well. And we're going to move this up and align it to the top of our hexagon shapes here. And we're going to make it a little larger. We'll go about 44. And then we're looking for a thicker font. So a good one for a bold font that has some thickness to it is Segoy UI Black. So here we go. Move it a little bit closer. And now we want the color of this one. So what we'll do is just do the same technique that we've done before. Get our eyedropper on a shape and select it. So now we have this gray that we're looking for. So I'm going to bring this one over here so we have it close. All right. So our font color is going to be that gray. Yep, looks the same one. So we got the same gray there. Perfect. Now we have our header, creative idea. And we'll go with the body text. We'll do this paragraph here. So select our text, duplicate it, bring it on down some, keep it aligned. We're going to want a smaller font, go into 20, and we want a thinner version. So ideally you want to stick with the same font that you're using throughout the deck. And we'll go with a Segoy semi-bold or regular. Let's go with the regular Segoy UI. There we go. So now we have a similar font here in color to here as well. And the last part of the equation would be these two stars with the corresponding text next to them. So the stars are actually an icon that you can pull right out here of PowerPoint. So we'll just type in star, do a search, and there we go. So we have our icon. We're going to make it a lot smaller by pressing Shift and then dragging up. And that's going to make our stars keep their proportions. They were indented a little bit on the other slide, so here we go. And now for this one, we want to go graphics fill, and this one will be our blue. Let's duplicate that star, bring it down a little bit, and this one's going to be our green color. Perfect. Now we'll do our text. And here we're going to want our text to be the semi-bold, so it's the thing that's in between the header and our normal text. So Segoy semi-bold. And we can just copy this. And our normal text is just the Segoy UI. We're going to have this one be a size of about 14. Yep. And if we look over here, this size looks to be about right. So we'll just keep those as it is. Duplicate that. And now we have this one as well. So our slide design doesn't take that long to do. Just having a good technique of using shapes and then the images within the shapes, and you can have a very nice looking slide without being a professional designer. So any type of person can go about doing this. Just find a slide that you really like, take a screenshot of it, work with your shapes, and get the image inside the shape using the technique that we went through in this video. So to do this process does take quite a few steps. So if you want an easier method, in our next video, you'll be able to see how we can turn this into a master slide, and then with one step, you can add any image you want into these shapes. So that way you can use it across your slide deck and have many different images and not have to worry about a lot of work.